What's up, gaming heroes, and welcome back to another awesome World of Warcraft video. My name is Erosium, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at one of my favorite farms. This is one of those farms that I come back to over and over and over and over, and for some reason, this farm just never seems to fail me. It's not one of those farms where you farm up an item and then you sell it. It's more of like one of those farms where you farm up some items, then you send it to a crafter and you craft some stuff and you sell it on the auction house. If you really like this type of content, I release a lot of this content on my Patreon, so feel free to check that out if that's of interest to you. Thank you as always to my wonderful patrons who continue to support the channel, who allow me to achieve my goals of becoming a full-time content creator, so I really appreciate that. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so where are we? First is first, I'm in Silvermoon Valley, Outlands. Outlands specifically, not Warlords of Draenor, Outlands. Silvermoon Valley. Fastest way here is to go to either Stormwind and Orgrimmar, go to the Honor Hold Mage. The Mage will teleport you to the Blasted Lands. You just come straight through the portal, and you can fly straight here. If you don't want to do that, go to Shattrath City, through the portal again, and fly here like that. Either way, fly to Silvermoon Valley and come to the Black Temple. You want to be doing this on a druid ideally, just because of the simple fact that you can fast travel. You can do it also on a monk, as monks also have fast travel. Apart from that, you can do this. It doesn't really matter if you do it on heroic or normal. It doesn't really matter at all from what I've personally experienced, but I just do it on heroic anyway. And all we're going to be doing is killing trash, not bosses, only trash. And we do this for around 15-ish minutes, and that's usually enough to get you a fair amount of runs through this instance. And what we're here looking for right now is gems. We're looking for gems. And usually you get 3 to 4 gems per run. Right there's 2 gems already. These gems aren't worth a huge great deal on the auction house. However, when I send them over to my jewelry crafting character, I'm able to craft some pretty good gems, which can be sold to twinks or can be sold to people doing the Mage Tower. And now the Mage Tower is a permanent feature of World of Warcraft. We're able to effectively farm quite a decent sum of gold. When these gems are crafted, they can sell for anywhere between 500 to 5,000 gold, depending on the gem that you're crafting. It's also worth noting that by killing these elementals just here, you actually get quite a lot of motes of water, meaning each run you're getting typically 3 to 5 primal waters. Alongside this, you're getting some pretty cool transmogs, which can be sold in the auction house, and additionally some find on pickup transmogs, which can be used for your character as well. Pay special attention for any transmogs that have an item level of level 50, because they're the ones that can be used in the Mage Tower still, and might be worth keeping to sell for a banging profit. Quite an unlucky run from what I can see, as we only picked up 2 gems, yeah, not 3 this time. Make sure you don't kill High Warlord Nagentus, as he will stop these mobs from being able to respawn. At this point, simply use your Dreamwalk. If you are a druid, reset the instance and go back there. As I say, this isn't one of those super sexy gold farms where you're going to be making millions per hour. I go back in and I do it again and again and again. I use up my maximum amount of clears that I can for the hour, right? That's what I typically do. So blast through once again, and I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to do the full amount that I can possibly do, and I'll be back when I've done it. Okay, so we got around 200 gold in raw, just typical gold as we are farming. The farm took around 25 minutes. Unfortunately, it took me a little bit longer because I answered a phone call whilst I was farming, and I suck at doing multitasking. I'm just not a multitasker at heart at all. So it was one of those. Now we got a couple just random final pickup items, which are of no consequential value, but what you can do with these is actually disenchant them. Entirely up to you how you want to handle it, but typically if you do have disenchanting, then definitely disenchant these, as they could be worth a good sum of money on the auction house in terms of raw material value. Outside of that, you do get quite a lot of greens from here, which are, are transmogs. For the most part, I've learnt all of the transmogs I can from this, so there's none that I can actually learn personally. So apart from that, you'd sell these typically to a vendor, or you would disenchant them for their typical value. Again, it's not going to be a huge amount of value because this is not a transmog farm. This is more so a farm for gems. Now, these gems are the main sellers here. This is what we're after. And they don't seem like huge value gems or anything like that, but they are, because when they're crafted into twink gems and things of that nature, that's where you get your value. Okay, so in this instance, I'm actually going to go and sell through all these greens. As I don't have disenchanting on this character, I'm going to sell them. I was a bit of a plonker this week. I accidentally killed the boss on my speed set druid, and therefore I couldn't farm it on my speed set druid because it wouldn't reset. So a little bit of a plonker moment, but it is what it is. I'm actually going to sell through these potions. You can sell them on the auction house, but I'm not going to. In terms of primal water, around 3,000 gold worth of primal water. That's on my realm. It's quite low price on my realm, but if it is a region market value, it's 6,000 gold. So it's really dependent on how much it is on your realm. Apart from that, I obviously have some essence of water. I have Mark of Illidari, and then these gems. So let's just get the stuff sent off. Okay, so I am here on my jewelry crafting character, and I'm going to receive all of these now. Lovely jubbly. So we've got everything in the mail right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and craft. So typically when you're crafting this type of stuff, you want to be aiming for the multiple stats gems, okay? Because they're the ones that twinks are going to use. They're the ones that mage towers are going to use, everything of that nature. So that's what you want to be predominantly aiming for. Now we'll go through the whole list, of course, but first of all, I just want to look at the main ones for me. So here we've got 3 strength, or we can go for 3 intellect, or we can go for 3 agility, or we can go for 3 parry. It's really up to you on what you choose to do. Strength sells the fastest, though they all sell relatively quickly. So I'm going to make 4 of each of these. Each of them sell for around 400 to 500 gold each. Quite easy to do, as I say, to get those crafted. Okay, so now we've got the multiple stat ones that I often talk about and say that are really, really good in terms of profit. They just do ridiculously well. It's honestly shocking. Now here, I typically go for both the strength and the agility ones because they have the most gold there, whereas the others, for some reason, just don't. I'm not really sure why. I'm pretty sure the intellect one does change pretty often, the value, so go for whatever's best for you. Now, I do notice that the region value is 900 gold, so these typically could be sold for a lot more. But what I'm going to do here is actually just make 2 of each. And then we've got the orange ones, which are very similar. They give very similar stuff exactly. We've got 2 crit, 2 strength, the exact same type of stuff. 2 agility, 2 crit. So let's just go ahead and make 4 for the strength one. And this stuff really sells quite quickly because people buy it all the time for things like Mage Tower or any like level 10 alts, those types of things like that. Okie dokie, so there we go. We've actually gone ahead and we've crafted all of these items. Now I'm going to give 2 values here. First value I'm going to give is the region market value, and then I'm going to give you the value that I'm making personally on this realm, given that I'm on Silvermoon EU. Let's work out the value we've made in region market value from what we've got here today. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've worked out all of the values of how much we've made by crafting these gems. Obviously, how much we've made from farming and crafting these gems. Now, I haven't included the raw gold or the potential gold that you would get from disenchanting the greens and selling the materials on the auction house as well. You'd obviously get a lot more if you did that as well, especially if you're disenchanting purple items, as you will get specific items that are very useful to sell on the auction house. So you'll definitely get I'd say around 2 to 4,000 more gold from disenchanting that stuff than you would from just selling it to the vendor. But it's really dependent on your realm and your prices. So as to not manipulate the prices right, I've given the region value, which is the average value across every realm in Europe, across every realm in the EU. And I've also given the values on my own realm, given that I'm on the most populated realm in the EU. Here we go. So the region value, which is the average value of every realm across the EU, we have made a total of 55,730 gold. 49,480 of that came from gems when they've obviously been sold. Then we've got 6,000 came from primal water, which is obviously once they've been sold. Random items, once they've been sold, around 250 gold. On my own personal realm, Silvermoon value, 17,800. For gems, primals, 3,100. Randoms, 45. And total, 20, just under 21,000 gold. I guess the next question you're going to ask is, Erosium, do these sell? I personally don't like naysayers, and so therefore I'm deciding just to show you some of the sales that I've had in the last few days just selling these various different items. As you can see here, we've made around just under 19,000 gold, and I've only done this in the last couple of days. Very simply, farming gems, crafting them up, and selling them on the auction house. Very easy to do. So all in all, I'm really happy with this farm. I think it went really well, but I encourage you to check out the prices for yourself. If you don't know how, you can always go to Oribos Exchange, choose your realm, and search for yourself individual prices for each item to make sure that this farm is the one for you. As I say, I'm not screaming from the rooftops that this is making millions of gold, but I am saying to you, this will make you a fair whack of gold if you keep this type of stuff stocked on the auction house. Well guys, there we have it. That is my little farm for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, smash the like button and click subscribe. And if you really like the way that I come across, the content that I give to you guys, then please feel free to check out my Patreon, where you can support me and get access to all of my World of Warcraft guides on erosiumtv.com. I've spent over 250 hours writing guides for that website, so it's fair to say that if you support me, I scratch your back also. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Erosium out, and I'll see you next time.